Okay. And what I want you to do is pretend that, imagine that this runway is heavily contaminated with a lot of water from a previous rain shower.
Okay. Okay, very good. I'll perform a soft field takeoff.
Okay.
All right, before takeoff, and we're remaining in the pattern?
We are remaining in pennies.
Okay. So before takeoff checklist, departure briefing, we've already briefed the distances, but 6,000 feet of runway required is 600 on that ground roll. Oh, sorry, 800 or 900 on the ground roll, 1450 clear, 50-foot obstacle. We'll use more than that because of the soft field technique, but we have plenty of runway here. Air speeds, rotate whenever we get out. Whenever we lift off the ground, we'll climb out at 54 and then resume normal climb at 74 once the flaps are up. Crosswind component from the left, no terrain obstacles or wake turbulence here. Noise abatement procedures, none for the airport. Regular left traffic. No departure plan, no airspace review, sterile cockpit as always. Emergency procedures the same as Daytona. Only difference is we have 6,000 feet, so we may have to overrun should we have an engine failure about halfway up as we've rotated, halfway down the runway. That's it. Any questions on the briefing?
Questions?
Okay. Yeah, flaps identified.
And there's no obstacle on this one.
Okay, no obstacle. Then we'll only, it's just a momentary time. We'll maintain 54 knots. Just for a momentary period.
You say momentary, you mean in ground effect?
Oh, yeah. So we'll accelerate 54, and then after that we'll slowly climb up. We don't have to maintain it.
Gotcha.
Like the short field takeoff. Before takeoff checklist complete.
The cabin power total.
Back to traffic. Anyone base to final for runway 9er? Me? Black traffic, Skyhawk 404 Romeo taking off runway 9er, left traffic, Palaca. Runway 9er is verified. In the green, airspeed alive.
And for the landing, I want you to imagine there's only 2,000 feet of runway available.
Okay. This is from the threshold forward, 2,000 feet?
Threshold to there's only 2,000 feet available.
Okay. Palaca traffic, Skyhawk 404 Romeo turning left crosswind, runway 9er, Palaca, full stop. In that case, it'll be a short field landing, and I'll choose the ending of the first runway stripe as my intended touchdown point.
Okay. Why? How did you come to that decision?
Well, you said it's 2,000 feet. Are there any obstacles at the?
There's an obstacle.
There's no obstacles. So in that case, we have the full 2,000 feet to use. I'd rather use a safe point beyond the threshold. The first end of the first stripe is safe enough for me, and that'll give us enough distance to stop as well. Lack of traffic, 404 Echo Romeo, left downwind, runway Niner, Palatka, full stop. Alright, 90 knots, flaps 10. I'll continue out a second. Alright, 75 knots, flaps 20.
0, Marion County.
Lack of traffic, Skyhawk 404 Echo Romeo, left base runway 9er, Palatka, full stop. And 61 knots flaps. Cool. Alright. Alright. 200 feet, stabilize, continuing. A little high. We're just going to continue down till Charlie.
Okay.
Lack of traffic, Skyhawk 404 Echo Romeo is taxi clear of 9er on Charlie. After landing checklist, ups are up. After landing checklist complete, taxi instructions should be the same, but we'll out. Charlie, left turn Alpha, cross 1735, no spots or anything complex.
Okay.
takeoff check. Briefing. Takeoff checklist. Briefing remains the same as before. Do you agree? No question. No. All the distances, the emergency procedures.
Well, you got a nice, beautiful asphalt runway now.
Okay. Normal takeoff then. We'll take off. So speeds for this will be 55 rotation, 74 climb out, 85 at 500 feet for the cruise climb. Let's see here.
And for the landing, I'd like you to do a forward slip to a land.
Forward slip to landing. Before takeoff checklist. Let's check base to final. Black of traffic, Skyhawk 404 Chromia taking off runway 9er, left traffic black out. Niner verify. The green. Speed live. Rotate.
It's going to be your touchdown point for the forward slip.
For the forward slip, I'm going to plan on touching down at the beginning of the 1,000-foot markers. I anticipate some float during this one.
Okay.
Piper 17 Tango, turning left base, runway 5, touch and go.
Black of traffic, Skyhawk 404 Chromio, left crosswind, turning left cross on runway 9er, Palatka. Black of traffic, Skyhawk 404 Chromio, left downwind, runway 9er, Palatka, full stop. Uh, 96 knots, left 10. Black traffic, Skyhawk 404, Echo Romeo turning left base, runway 9er, Palatka. Okay, now it's flaps 20. And 72 knots flaps. Black traffic, Skyhawk 404 at Romeo left, turning final, runway 9er, Palatka. 200 feet. Let's continue.
Alright, sure. So let's say you're on your cross country here, and as you're flying, you notice that this M right here, this M bat right here, it's flashing yellow and it shows a negative sign. What could be what's going on?
So you said so that's yellow,
and it's flashing yellow, and it has a negative sign in front of it.
Is there any like another annunciators or anything going on?
Not right now.
Not right now. Okay. It could mean that there's something wrong with the electrical system. So the battery's not being charged. So probably an alternator issue.
Okay. Is the battery? What's actually happening with the battery?
Well, it's not charging anymore. It's discharging.
It's discharging.
So it's
Okay. So now you get an annunciator right here. It goes ping. And it says low volts.
Okay.
What are you going to do? What's the first thing you're going to do?
Well, I'll just make sure I'm flying the plane. The plane's under control. It's a VFR ahead. It's not an emergency right now. And just letting you know, let's see, Flagler Airport's behind us. So I might slow down and just circle around here for a minute. And while I'm doing that, I'll pull out my checklist.
Okay.
So make sure I fly. Abnormal. Low volts. All right. So what I would do, and I'll simulate it, let me ask you this, has any circuit breaker popped out?
Circuit breakers are all in.
Oh, okay. What I might do is, following the first part of the checklist, I might turn the alternator side off, left side off. There's no circuit breaker reset, but I might just reset it again, turn it back on, and check to see if anything changes up here, because there's no circuit breaker. So, does that change anything?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Well, if the alternator switch is now on and it's not changed, then I'll come down here. So, turn off the alternator switch here. Just make sure I'm flying nearby. Okay, still nearby Flagler. All right. Electrical load reduced. So I'll turn off avionics switch 1. Pitot heat would be off. Lights, I turn off everything, including the beacon. Just turn them all off. Cabin 12 volt power is already off. So keep it off. Tune COM 1. So I'll probably put Flagler's AWOS and ATIS in here. Sorry, AWOS and tower frequency in here. And then turn off the avionics bus 2. And then land at the nearest airport. Now because we're here, since we're so close, I might just leave that on for now.
Okay.
But if we had to fly farther, I might change things up. I might turn on the standby battery, let that run, then turn on the main battery.
If you turn off avionics bus 2, would you still be able to talk to tower and aviators?
Yeah, the avionics, the COM 2, NAV 2 won't be usable, but COM 1, that's why we tune and identify everything in COM 1 and NAV 1, so that we have that available. We'll turn off avionics too.
Okay.
And then I go in and land at Flagler.
Okay. So, but you also turned bus 1 off too, so you have both buses off.
Well, because we still have the main battery on. Main battery will still power everything on the COM 1.
Okay, let's go ahead and... okay, that's good. So go ahead and fly towards northbound for me.
Sure.
And one of your passengers is complaining of chest problems. They are getting short of breath, and it feels like they think they're having a heart attack. What are you going to do?
I probably want to go straight into Flagler, go into the air, get them down as soon as I can, and get to an airport as fast as I can. So an emergency descent, probably all the way.
Okay. Emergency descent.
Do you want me to go into it right now, or should I clear the area?
Okay. So what would you do in reality?
No, if this was an actual emergency, I'd just go straight into it, probably to my left, and then.
And that's what you'd do straight away. But for the purpose of the check today and just training purposes, let's do the clearing turns and make a radio call.
All right. So I'll clear. I'll clear the left first.
And I want you to recover at 3,000 feet.
3,000, okay. Crest traffic, Skyhawk 9042 is about 3 miles north of Flagler, 4,400 feet. Emergency descent northbound to 3,000 feet. Look out. Alright, so I'm just getting a reference off my left. Got a long field over there. Now I'll go ahead and start the maneuver, so clear.
What speed are we looking for?
I'm looking for about 124. A little fast. Alright, I'll go ahead and complete my cruise checklist. Cruise power I'll set there.
Okay, so you had the passengers on board, right? Do you think they'll be a little freaked out now?
Oh, so one thing before I started was I'd have to let them know that it's a normal maneuver, that you make sure their seatbelts are on. If they have anything, loose articles or baggage with them, just hold on to that, secure it.
Okay, yeah, at least warn your passengers, right?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, here we go. Simulate engine failure.
Oh, okay. Alright, so first thing 68, I have this nice field here. So airspeed, best field, checklist. I'll make sure my flaps are up now. Alright, run the checklist. In full forward, leave that where it is. Fuel pump on. And I'll leave this on both since it's spinning. If the prop had stopped, I would engage the starter. Did that do anything if I move the throttle?
Did nothing.
Okay. So 68 still. Field's here. Bye. See, winds are this way, so probably land going towards the south. Both in. Simulate idle cutoff. Slowly full forward on the throttle. Fuel pump off. And same thing. If it's spinning, I'd leave it on both. Or I'd engage the starter if the prop had stopped.
Okay, that didn't work either.
Okay, then in that case I'll squawk 7700 here, and then Mayday, I'll probably do a Mayday here, and let traffic in the north practice area know where I am. So 6 northwest of Flagler, west of 95, 2,400, 2 souls on board, white and blue aircraft going down, and then maybe I'd get over to Daytona approach as well, 123.9er since we were there, broadcast that as well. And if I was nowhere, I might just do it on the emergency frequency. So I have a chance, 2,300 feet. 68 flaps. Okay. And just let me
clear the engineer real quick.
Okay. Alright. So just letting you know, our touchdown point is just below us here. So I'll start circling around it and my high key. So we're going to land, there's a line of trees you'll see here. We're going to land south of that going south. Alright, so we'll just complete the redo while we have time. Some altitude here. So you have your seat belts on, your seat backs are upright, and we'll get the fuel shut-off valve out. Okay, I'll descend here slowly. I'll go under here. The mixture control will be idle cutoff. Flaps, of course, we'd set them as required. The ELT we turn on. Ignition switch would be off. Standby battery switch, we turn that off. And master switch, I'll leave these on until I get my flaps in. And then just prior to landing, we'll open the doors and everything. Just clear this up a little.
I'm just going to clear the engine.
Sure. Right. A lot of wind pushing me, so I'll just stay on this crosswind here. But yeah, just prior to touchdown, once we get the flaps in, I'd turn these off and I'd ask you to open up your door. So we'd unlatch that. So, line of trees over there. The south side, closer towards the road, will land straight there. Just a little high. 34 knots laps then. And 70 knots laps 20. And go full flaps here.
Alright, think you can make the field?
Yeah, plenty of runway there,
okay.
So even if we
go
run,
around,
no problem.
Thanks, climb to 1,000 feet.
Alright, 1,000.
Okay, good. What I would like you to do now is find a place to do S-turns.
S-turns, alright. Let's see here. This road looks good, but the issue is the winds are coming directly out of the south, so we'd have a direct crosswind. Okay. I'm just going to fly further south here, see if we can find something else. Might try to go a little bit further west here.
Yeah, there's those fields up west of Flagler, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That way. And I see that tower there, so we'll stay north of the tower.
Okay.
All right.
So let me know what you're going to use for your turns around a point. I'm sorry, your S-turns.
Got it. Let's see here. Stuff organized.
And what altitude and speed will you do this at?
About 1,000 feet, 100 knots.
Okay.
I'm planning to enter on the downwind. I can see all the clouds are blowing this way, and even from our previous maneuvers, it seems everything seems to be blowing, or the wind seems to be coming from the south. So my plan is to use. Can you see the road out of those? Coming out of the trees there. It's a long road, and also it's pretty close to these points where we can land at.
Okay.
So if anything happens, we at least have a site to land in case of an emergency.
Okay, just let everybody know what you're doing.
Okay. So just to give you an idea, what I'm going to do is just clear the area a little bit, and then I'll do a left 180 and then start this way, so I can do a left turn followed by a right turn. Present traffic, Skyhawk 942, approximately 8 miles west of Flagler, the Crescent Fields, 1,000 feet, S-turns. I just let you know I'm going to start the maneuver now, once I cross this road.
Okay.
So here we are.
Alright, very good. So that's it for the airwork, and what we can do now is let's head back to Daytona, and you can take me home safely, and I'd like to see a normal landing back in Daytona.
Alright, sounds
Okay.